Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Who are you, Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Well, aloha! Welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report post-game show. Yeah, that's right. I'm having all kinds of issues and pissues. You know, for some reason, Twitter locked up on me and my tweets didn't get out. But, oh, man, I have got something. I came up with something while we were on the break, and I can't wait to announce it. I'm going to announce it as more people get in. I love all of you. What a great game. I'm waiting on my buddies to show up. My first one to show is Mr. Brock Banner. Brock, that was the game we needed.
I'm pumped. You know why?
I got to go ahead.
I'm pumped because we got 4 goals from 4 different people.
Yeah.
That's different for the Blues.
Not only that, Bennington played very, very well tonight. That save. Oh, that save.
I know. Crazy.
Oh, what a rollover save, man.
Yeah. I saw
that
Ashley
was amazing.
Say hi to Ashley before I forget. I'm gonna say hi to Ashley.
Oh yeah, we see you, Ashley. We know you're there, and she's letting you know you had a great article, Brock, and you did. You had a really good article, Brock.
Appreciate it.
Perron had 3 points tonight, a goal and three. No, did he get a goal? Or no, he had 3 assists.
I
think he had. Yeah, he had 3 assists. Jason Nichols, I officially changed my mind. I want to play Colorado, not Vegas. I don't believe Colorado can handle that and are hitting through 7 games. Well, it all depends on who's there. Oh, Perroner, first star. Yeah, I mean he had a good game.
Yeah.
You know, you got Tereshchenko. The first goal was Tereshchenko, Krug, and Hoffman. Second goal was Shin O'Reilly and Shin O'Reilly and Perron. Then Perron did get a goal. He had a goal and 2 assists from Falk and O'Reilly. So he got that tip. He tipped that Falk one in.
Perron's
and I thought so, yeah.
Perron's line was
and then Robert Thomas got it from Perron and Scandella.
Yep.
Gave up a power play goal, but got a power play goal. I'm trying to take care of some stuff, man. You know what? That contest that you came up with is great, man. I mean, absolutely great.
6-year-old and a 7-year-old. My kids love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to do this I've got how I'm going to do it now. I'm trying to get these links sent out to my buddies and make sure they get them.
Yep.
And I got something to announce, and I'm kind of waiting to see if some more people get in, or we got to share it and make sure they get in. So here's we go. I wish I could post pics. I guess Julie's at the game. Sorry, Julie. You know, if you send them to me, maybe I can post them for you. Let's go Blues. My man was 3rd star of the game. He had a good game. Your mom's man was 1st star of the game. I'm excited to tell my kiddos, Brock, thanks for having the great idea. Yeah, so here's what's going to happen. So I'm going to change it up from what I originally said. Here's what we're doing. I told you the Blues would win tonight. Yes, you did, Joan. Yes, you did. This contest is going to go from today to the end of the season, right? And it's going to have 4 divisions, 5 and under, 6 to 10, 11 to 14, and 15 to 18. Now, for an 18-year-old, you have to be in high school. If you're already graduated, you're out. You have to still be in high school. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is you graduated this year, right? You're not you know, so I know they're right at graduation.
Class of
2021 graduate. Right? And you're in. How good the picture is doesn't matter. I'm looking for creativity, right? That's what we're looking for. Me, Brock, Lance, and somebody else, we'll pick a 4th person, are going to be the judges. And, you know, we're going to, you know, put your name we're not going to look at the names or any of that. We're going to put them on, and we're going to let you guys vote too. I'm going to put them on the website. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a great drawer. You just have to draw and put something in that you love the Blues.
Sure.
And here's the name of the contest. And I have permission. This is the Haley Memorial Picture Contest for Haley York. I talked to her mom. I have permission to use her name. There we go. Hey, I got to bring a buddy and a pal in, man. I got to bring in Nick from Windy City Hockey. How you doing, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good, man. So, did you watch today's game at all, or
I caught the third period. That was about
third
it.
period? Right. Since you picked some videos, thanks, Julie. I'll try and look at him here as we're going down the line. This was for the Blues. This was a fun game. So, how about you? Before we get into the Blues game, why don't you give us an update of where the Hawks are right now?
Well, it looks like they're going to be missing the playoffs as they took a big loss again to the Nashville Predators, only winning 1 out of 8 games versus them in the entire season series. It's going to cost them the playoffs.
Oh, well, I mean, they had a good start. Now, today, Shaw retired, correct?
Yes, that's why I'm wearing the jersey.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that mean? Did he play this season at all, or has he been out most of the season?
Shazy actually did start off the season with the Hawks. He got a concussion around the 14th game of the season, and he was wearing the A for all the home games in Chicago. And, well, he caught I think it was a puck to the head and basically got another concussion, causing him to have to hang up the skates.
Well, I mean, you hate to see anybody hang up the skates. And you know what, guys? Nick is a friend of mine. I know he's a Blackhawks fan, and that's fine. I love Nick because he's got the same amount of passion that all of us have, and that's what's important. So keep the bad Blackhawk jokes to yourself, and everybody be nice to Nick, because Nick volunteered to come on, and Nick's a good guy, and I love Nick, and just making sure you understand, Nick, that you're more than welcome here.
Yeah, I understand.
And we went.
You know what? But yeah, I expect if I go on a show, did a live with you, I'd expect your guys to slam the crap out of me. So, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that we're playing good. Hey, Lance, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How are you?
Oh, not bad at all, man. I got to ask you, Lance, I got to ask you straight up where your mind is after this game, because this is an important game. And you and me talked at the pregame about this being possibly a watershed game. I want to know what you think now.
Yeah, I think the Blues had one of the most complete games that they've had in a long time. They played well defensively. They kept Colorado off their game. Colorado could never really get a lot going. And when they did get some decent shots, Bennington was there to make the saves. But this, I think, has to be one of their best full game efforts of the year, because we know the problems they've had keeping a lead, coming from behind, and the problems in the second period. But this game is one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. Now they just need to continue to do it. Well, 2-game winning streak isn't going to get you in the playoffs. You've got to win and keep winning and keep winning. Don't worry about Arizona. Don't worry about San Jose. San Jose's behind you. Arizona's around you. Just do what you need to do, and they'll get in the playoffs. And like everybody knows on this panel here, that if you go hot into the playoffs, I mean, there were several years the Blackhawks when they won the Stanley Cup, they didn't go into the playoffs cold. They went into the playoffs as a hot team, just like the Blues did in 2019. You've got to go in hot. Maybe this is a jumping off point for the Blues to really start playing well.
But, and I'm sorry, again, first of all, I want to introduce myself to my Windy City buddy. How you guys doing? I love the Blackhawks. Don't believe the hype. I love you guys. The thing, and it goes back to what we talked about at the intermission. I want to believe, I want to trust these guys. I really do. So much. But the fact is, it's only 2 games, guys. And until they string some more together, I still have to be a little bit, I mean, I don't call it negative, but more of a realist, because the Blues have been streaky all year. And that's just the thing. They'll put together a 3-game win streak, but they also put together an 8-game losing streak. So, this is a big week. I said that coming into the week. Minnesota is going to be a huge test. I think it's a test that we can stand up to the challenge. We have to show it. We have to, not make dumb mistakes. But I was very much encouraged, and I said this earlier, Guy, 4 different goals from 4 different players. So we're sharing the load. We're not expecting O'Reilly to pull us out every time. And that was a positive for me. And Jordan Bennington played great.
Yeah. And, you know, I wanted to ask our Windy City a hockey guy. I watched that game the other night when Blackhawks won 5-4 in OT.
Yes.
And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, well, maybe this is the game that gets the Blackhawks going back in a positive direction. They've not played well, if you could say bad, against Nashville this year. I don't know if you brought that up, but yeah, they've not played well against Nashville. That 5-4 overtime win, I thought maybe the Blackhawks will make a push, and then the next night against the Predators again, or the next game, they didn't look like that team that won that game in overtime.
Yeah, they looked off. The entire season against Nashville, they only won 1 out of 8 games, getting a total of 4 points out of a possible 16. Right there, that's a complete failure to your season if you don't at least split the season series, and just get 4 points is just unacceptable.
Yep, I agree. But like Brock said, you know, we're all hoping here in St. Louis that this 2-game winning streak does spring, it does kind of spring the Blues up and get them going in a positive direction. But also, like Brock said, you know, we've been fooled before with this team. 2 wins, 3 wins in a row. It hasn't happened often this year, but they've been very inconsistent, like the Blackhawks, you know, were for part of the season. But we can hope that they can come back and win. And I mean, I think there might be still hope for the Blackhawks, but it's going to take a lot of different things happening and for them to really get back in the play to where they need to get in the playoffs.
I want to throw a question to Guy, because we talked about it, about, you know, the Blues winning the second period. That was a goal they had to do. What is it? And you've been very critical of Craig Berube. We've all talked about that. What do you think Berube's told them in the locker room? What do you think? Or do you think maybe fans are overstating that whole locker room thing?
Well, first of all, I think sometimes a good coach at between periods can change the mentality or the makeup. I think he walked in there and said, "Okay, it's your time. Beat them." You know, the miracle speech. You know, 9 out of 10 times they may beat us. Not this time. It's your time. I think something like that. But I will say this: they came out of that period on a penalty kill, and the first thing they did was win the faceoff. That right there gave them an opportunity to kill that power play. And then, so they gave up a goal. They did give up a goal, but they also scored one. They were up 3-0 at a point. Then it's 3-1. Then it's 4-1. Well, you scored 2 goals in that period, what we haven't done before. And I also, Jim Siegel says this, Bennington tonight, the 2-pad stack, you know, that rollover save did really well. And for Windy, you know, trust me, buddy, we are feeling your pain. We are feeling your pain. The Blues have played with our emotions as much as they played with your guys' emotions, as the Blackhawks have played with your emotions. You know, it's been one of them seasons, because for most of the season, they've been sitting there in that fourth spot.
Yep.
But the winning percentage, when you flip that, they drop down. And a lot of fans didn't look at that. And now your hearts are toyed with. And that's fine. You know, that's part of being a fan. You deal with the ups, you deal with the downs. With the Blackhawks, this is the one thing that I'm starting to see from them. And I really got to ask you this question. If you're the ownership, do you go to Kane and ask him to be traded?
No. You can't. Kane, I think this is what the Hawks are doing. They have the youth movement going. They have so many. They're the third or fourth youngest team in the NHL. You have a good young core coming up. Bring back Taze next season. You have your leader and your captain back in the lineup. You have your star forward and Patrick Kane. And then you have the young players like Alex DeBrincat, Kirby Doc, and then you have a good young defense core coming up as well. You don't trade your star player, because the team as it sits now, the young players are coming up and starting to show themselves that they can play in this league and play well with Patrick Kane, with a Jonathan Toews as they showed last season, it could help the Hawks out going further. It looked like the Hawks just caught up to the injuries by the month of March. That's what killed them during this season.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The whole thing about Taves, and I was told this by a Chicago writer, and I don't know if it's true, but one of the things that they think might be wrong with him is that he has chronic fatigue, and that's an autoimmune disorder. And I don't know if that's true or not, but if he does have that, he's going to have a hard time playing hockey for the rest of his career, because he may be really good for a couple games and then he's going to be sapped energy for a couple games. And I'm not a Blackhawks fan, but for Blackhawks fans to lose Jonathan Toews over something like that would just be ridiculous. So hopefully he does come back fully healthy next year, and it's not chronic fatigue, which would not be good for the Blackhawks, because like you said, they got a good young core. And I personally think that Kane is probably going to be one of those guys that may be with the same team his whole career. I really think that Taves, if he comes back, you may see him on another team later in his career. But I think Patrick Kane may be one of those rare guys that just plays for one team.
Yeah, I could see it.
So coming back to reality, the Blues just had one of the biggest freaking wins of the year. So let's talk about the Blues. Sorry, guys.
No, that's fine. We got to talk about everybody. That's good. We got to give everybody things.
I'm just giving you trouble. I'm kind of wise.
No.
But this is a big game for us, and this is something that we can build on.
Very big win, and looking here, there is a number that sticks out in the stats here: block shots. Colorado had 4. 4. St. Louis had 22. That's the win. That's your win right there, right? You prevent them from getting pucks to the net. No dirty goals, right? No dirty goals. Even the power play goal was a dirty goal. That was a dirty goal. That wasn't a great wow power play goal. It was a dirty goal. So at this point, this is showing this team, and this is what I talked about earlier. This is showing this team that they can beat other teams and how to beat them.
Well, let me ask Lance and everybody on this. Robert Bortuzzo. A lot of people have been really, oh, this guy's terrible. This guy's terrible. Well, he shows up. They block shots. I mean, he offensively, he's not everything, but he does block shots. He's a gritty player, and you get what you get with Robert Bortuzzo. But again, I think we get in the situation where fans want it all. And again, I get it. They want Robert Bortuzzo to do this, and this. And block shots. All I know is tonight they blocked a lot of shots. He was in the lineup. Is he, his game is filling in those lanes. Maybe I'm not seeing the game right, but Lance, I'm interested. What do you think about Bortuzzo? Because he gets a bad rap around here.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Bortuzzo fan. I think he's a fringe NHL, AHL player. He can show up some games and look really good and really be that heavy guy you need to hit people and to get them off their game. And then other times he takes a little too far and he gets stupid penalties, or he gives up a breakaway, or he does something really stupid. He's one of those guys that's hit or miss. He can be good and play a really good game, or you just notice him doing stupid stuff. Hey, if he can contribute, that's great. But I'm not the type of person that expects that from him every single game. I think his negatives are more than positives, but dang, he was all over the ice tonight, and he was hitting people, and he was getting McKinnon and a few other guys off their game when he was out there, when their top line was out there. And he did look very good tonight. I'll definitely give him that. I'm just not a huge fan of his. I think there's more negative to him than there is positive, but he was really on tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you on that. I paid a lot of attention to Bortuzzo tonight. He was in the corners. Yep. He was body tonight. But he's a guy that's body one night, not a body another night.
Yep.
Not a body another night. Then he's a body, then he's not a body.
And then bad penalty night. He has 2 or 3
bad penalty night. So there is some of that.
Yeah.
With a win like this, and I want to ask this to Nick, because you talked when we had that conversation with Jamal, you talked about that. I think it was the 13th season, the lockout season, where they barely lost any games, right? And when they did lose a game, you even asked them, well, what was the thought process when you lose that? So when you have a team that loses, doesn't meet their expectation and all of a sudden have a solid win like this. Do you think this is a win that could turn the Blues season around? Or do you think that, it's just one game and, we just caught the Avalanche on a bad night? On a good night, I should say.
It's kind of hard to tell because the Blues are no 2013 Blackhawks for sure.
No, I'm not saying that. Not saying that.
I'm just saying by winning, how the teams sometimes gather these wins after taking just an off night type of loss where they don't look good and then come back and win the next game. The Blues this year, I don't see it, but I could see them try and make a spark out of it to somehow make it to the playoffs. I don't know their next opponents going.
We got Minnesota 3 at home.
3 at home.
3 at home. We play Wednesday night, and I got a surprise for Wednesday. I'll tell that here very shortly. We play Wednesday night, Thursday night, and then Saturday night.
Okay.
And we're a national game. We're the national game Wednesday night.
That's what I thought. I knew you guys had Wednesday night hockey. I just couldn't remember your guys' upcoming main opponents since I haven't really paid attention to the West this season.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to say you have 2 teams in Colorado and Vegas who are the 2 teams looking as the favorites to come out of that division to either make it to the Cup or make it to the third round of the playoffs. And then you have your 3rd seed in Minnesota, who is actually a dangerous team.
Very dangerous.
The 4th seed is either St. Louis, Arizona, and a potential of LA, how they've been playing. It's interesting to see what's to happen in that division, just because 3 teams already are in the playoffs, and that 4th seed probably comes down to the last game of the season.
Actually, I think it comes down. There's a couple of things there. One, the Blues have 3 games in hand. Well, 4 counting tonight on Arizona. Okay. Well, it won't because Arizona plays later. They could actually have that 4 spot sewed up before those 3 extra games happen, because those 3 extra games happen after Arizona's done playing. So they could have it sewed up ahead of that. But you are right. There are some things, but I look at a win like this as a potential playoff type shot. Okay, you win today. Can we move ahead? Right? Can you take this to the next step? Are you catching Minnesota for that 3rd spot? Probably not. Probably not. But could you send a message to Vegas or Colorado that you're not going to be a 4-game sweep? And that is important. 6 games, losing in 6 isn't as bad. I will always take a 6-game loss, right? Mm-hmm. In any round, I'll take that, because then you had a chance, right? You had a chance. But when you get swept or a 4-1, I'll take the 6-game loss. And that's what I think a win like this can do. This can put a little bit of fear in those other teams that may have to play you.
Well, here's my question. I've always been the type of person that when you go into an NHL season, your goal should never be just to make the playoffs. Your goal should be every year. I know when the Blackhawks were really good in the mid 2000s there, their goal every year was to win the Stanley Cup, and they thought they could win the Stanley Cup every year, and they had the talent, and they did it, several years out of, was it 3 out of 5? I think it was, 3 out of 5 years. And they were very, very good. I'm just concerned that a lot of people in this town, and maybe even some of the players, I don't know, I haven't heard that, are just going to be happy just to get to the playoffs. I will think it's a huge accomplishment based on their Blues injuries and the way some coaching decisions have been through the year. But for me, just to get to that first round and lose, I mean, I don't think it's worth anything, especially like Guy said, if you get beat in 4 games, 5 games, what did it do you to get into the playoffs?
Call me blind faith here. And again, it could be the dumbest thing ever, but you know what? The Blues will go in the playoffs with no pressure at all. I mean, the pressure's all on Vegas. It's all on Colorado. Everybody expects them to win. Could the Blues get in the playoffs and be the spoiler? Be that bratty, snotty team that's just in everybody's face and just really makes everybody miserable? I don't know. Maybe that is a storyline, I hope. But I would love to see that. I'd love to see that sort of team show up and be just a spoiler and take the pressure off trying to win it all, but be the spoiler and just each round advance. And take that approach instead of winning the first round.
Yeah, and I think that one of the keys to them getting past the first round is if Parayko comes back, number one, and if Parayko comes back and he's healthy. I think if Parayko doesn't come back, I just don't see the Blues being strong enough defensively, even though McCullough and Santini played a great game, tonight. I just think without Parayko, and I'm not comparing Parayko to Duncan Keith, but when you have a guy that's a big person on your defensive line and is pretty good offensively and defensively, and you lose that person for the playoffs, it's hard to really replace that. And hey, could the Blues surprise us and all of a sudden knock a team out? I don't think that's beyond question. I'm just doubting whether that could happen with the way things are going for them. Knock on wood, but they've had so many injuries, and let's hope they don't get more. But if Parayko's out for some reason, I think this team is really going to be behind the eight ball to win a round of playoff play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get to some comments real quick. So Alex Kennedy asked us to couldn't really keep up today. My daughter's sick. What did I miss? A recap, please. Okay, so the Blues came out of this game on fire. Got 2 goals in the first. Got goals by Tarasenko, power play goal by Tarasenko. And another goal by I'm missing the thing here. And then a goal by Braden Shen a little bit later in this. Say again. Okay. Shen.
Yep.
In the second period, the Blues got a goal at the 7:02 mark from David Perron from Falk and O'Reilly. Nathan McKinnon made it 3-1 with the power play goal at the 8:24 mark, and then the scoring got finished up by Robert Thomas at the 10:53 mark. From Perron and Scandella. The Blues win 4-1 and were outshot 32-20. They only took 3 shots in the third, so they pulled into a prevent defense that luckily didn't prevent us from winning.
Yeah, and you know what the key was? They got punched a little bit in the mouth by that goal to make it 3-1 by McKinnon, and then they came back and scored. That is the key. When you let a team score and you kind of start to let them back in the game, you're screwed. But when you put another goal on them, they're like, damn, we were 3 goals behind. We got 2 goals behind, and now they scored another one. And then it makes them a little more desperate. It makes them open up things that's going to give you opportunities. And I think that's exactly what happened with Thomas's goal. It opened up an opportunity with them pressing so much, trying to get that second goal.
Is this a different game if Mikko Rantanen's playing? Is this a different game if Phil Grubauer's playing?
Good question.
That's a good question. It could be, but you look at this. You look at this. After they scored those 2 goals, right? The Blues outscored them 9-2.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
9-2.
Yeah, I do think I put 2 of those goals on Johansson being his fault. Whether Grubauer or Rantanen can make those saves, people always tell me, like when Jake Allen was here. Oh, well, if Bennington would have been in goal, he'd have made that save. I'm sorry, guys. You can never say that. You can't say that because you don't know how Bennington would have played the puck. You don't know if he had to take the proper angle to it. You don't know that. You can never say that. So, but, you kind of think of that. Would this game have been 2-1 going into the third it would have been a totally different game if one of the other goalies would have been in? And it's nothing against Johansson. He did the best he could, but I definitely put 2 of those 4 goals on him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess my point is they're not going to get those opportunities in the playoffs. They're not be playing third string goalies.
Yeah.
Well,
what were you gonna say, Windy City Hockey? You started to say something.
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Johansson's just a third string goalie. Yeah. Both Dudnik and Grubauer being both not able to play tonight. Yeah, that doesn't help your chances if you're playing a third string goalie.
Well, you got to remember in the playoffs last year, they were down to their 4th string goalie.
Yeah, they were. And that's what cost them the playoffs.
Yep.
Right. So that's something to think about too. Hey, first of all, Richard Campbell had said earlier, having a Blackhawks fan on a Blues podcast is pretty bold. And he's asking, what jerseys do you have, Wendy? I think the better question would be, what jerseys don't you have?
Hey, I have a real quick question. Is that a Keith Magnuson jersey on the back there?
It is.
I do give a thumbs up to that because I did like Keith Magnuson in the 70s growing up, and he was one tough cookie. One of the I moved here in 76 from or 75 or 76 from California, and I got to see a lot of games the first season, but one of my favorite games in the second or third season back here, the Blues played to a 0-0 tie. Esposito was in goal for Chicago, and Keith Magnuson was just big old guy, big guy, no helmet, skating around, hitting people, hitting them elbows to the head. 0-0 tie was one of the best games I've seen, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So I do respect that Keith Magnuson jersey sticking out in the back there.
I'm working on all the retired number jerseys for the Hawks. I just have one left that I need to get, and it's Dennis Savard.
Yeah.
Cool. God, we were talking about Eddie Stanowski, the former Blues goalie, about playing in Chicago, and he said that during the warm-ups during Christmas time, the guy would play Christmas music, and they always thought that was kind of fun, that they knew Christmas was right around the corner. So I want to point out that interview we did with Ed Stanowski.
Oh, yeah.
Fun. So
really good interview we did with him. I have a story coming out, or Brock has a story coming out today or tomorrow on that. Yep. Check out the video on Blue Note Fan Report on YouTube. About 30 people have watched it. It was one of my funner interviews. It really was.
More fun.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? I will have to say this. People go on about the Checker Dome and how great it was and how close you were to the ice. The old Chicago Stadium was the exact same way. You were right on the ice. I mean,
you were.
It was a decent sized building, but you were right on the ice. And I feel sorry for people that never got to go to the old Checker Dome Arena and didn't get to go to Chicago Stadium to see the Blues and Blackhawks, because those were some loud, great games. Yeah. More fights in the stands than there were on ice. As a kid, I would just sit there. True. I'd just sit there and watch Blackhawks fans and Blues fans just beat the crap out of each other during the games. It was so much fun.
Jason Nichols says, "What if our bad second periods were because we weren't hitting and wearing teams down in the first, and they naturally wore down in the third? I think we're ready for the play." I'm not buying that just yet. Actually, Wendy, do you remember that picture I sent you this weekend?
The ticket?
Yeah. Right? I actually went to the very last Blackhawks game at Chicago Stadium. It was game 7 of the first round of 1994. I had just come back from Japan, from the Gulf. It was the first hockey game I'd seen in a long time. And I won tickets when I won the right to buy them from the MWR there, and it ended up being game 7, and they lost 1-0, and people were ready to tear that place down. Instead of calling it "Remember the Roar," they were saying "Remember the Boar." So I just had to throw that out there. So I did get the pleasure of seeing that, and I actually still have the ticket stubs, and I showed him that. Cool. The only problem with my stubs, they don't actually say game 7, so I know I was at game 7. So, right. Well, we're moving right along here. So let's kind of talk about what this game a little bit more, and let's get into some of the negatives of this game. And there were some negatives, I'm sorry. And I mean, on the Blues side, they took 2 penalties, which weren't bad penalties, but they did have some neutral zone issues this time. I noticed a few bad passes in the neutral zone. I noticed some, you could tell that Mikkola and the other guy,
Santini.
Santini hadn't played in a while. Wallman took a penalty. That wasn't a bad penalty, but Wallman caught a post. Defense was better, but it wasn't playoff better. Right? Do you agree or disagree?
I think it's the best you're going to get.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe Branko gets a little bit more, but I don't think you're getting much more.
Right. I don't know. I think you got to dig another gear. Well, then again, remember, look who you had out. Right. So do you have a Hossa and Keith jerseys?
Yes, I do. I have a 2015 Conn Smythe jersey for Keith, a Marian Hossa autograph jersey, and a Marian Hossa 2.0 jersey, like the team issued jerseys.
Very nice. Very nice. One of the things that I looked at tonight was there was room for improvement. As good as this game was, I saw room for improvement. So I don't think this is as good as it's going to get. You had, excuse me. Oh, yes, Alex, I do have a pick surprise. I just haven't had a chance to get it on the website yet. And then they're asking if you got a Chelios. Oh, I know you got a Chelios.
I do, but I'm looking to upgrade it because I have a weird feeling the red. I'm working on the retired numbers. I have a feeling they're going to retire 7 because of Brent Seabrook and Chris Chelios.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to get a red jersey for Chelios if they do retire the 7.
I'm shocked they haven't retired his number yet. I didn't know that.
It's because Brent Seabrook was wearing it since his rookie season, and
Yeah.
Chelios was still on Detroit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I'm done teaching for this summer.
Let's see. I heard something and it threw me off for a second.
Yeah. Hey,
But-
Patty, you want
All right.
a real quick plug for the coloring contest? I know we kind of mentioned it. Maybe
Yeah.
give a real quick plug while we're getting
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so here's what's going on. So a little bit earlier tonight, I got we caught a little thing on Twitter. Brock thought it was kind of cool and sent it to me, and I said, "Hey, you know what, Brock? That's not a bad suggestion." And we're going to have. I'm going to try and pull this thing up here in a second. I got so much stuff I can't find all the stuff I'm trying to find. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let me pull it up here for you guys real quick. If I can find the right buttons. My mouse is sticking on me, so it's making it hard for me to find what I want to find. This is why this thing needs a producer mode. So somebody else could do this for me, and I wouldn't have to do it all on my own. I could just say, hey, pull that up for me. And they could go and do it. But, hey, you know. So we were messing around on Twitter, and we found this. We found that right there from the Colorado Avalanche. One of their fans drew a picture of JT, and I'm not sure who JT is. And they said, they asked to show off your Avs art too. We want to see. Well, you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's have a coloring contest. And this isn't for the best picture. This isn't who can draw me the best, you know, Monet picture. This is who can show me their Blues pride on a piece of paper by drawing their favorite Blues player. Draw your favorite Blues player, however you want. And we're going to have it in 4 groups. We're going to have 5 and under, right? Five and under. We're going to have 6 to 10, 11 to 14, and 15 to 18, as long as you're in school. Why not? You know, don't, you know what, kids? Don't get all worried about this, that you don't think you're good enough. All of you are good enough. Me, Brock, and Lance, and one other person who I haven't decided yet is going to vote along with my fans. I'm going to put all these pictures on the website. You've got from now until the last day of the season. And then I'm pretty sure the Blues will make it in the first round. So we'll take the first round to vote, look at them and vote on them. And you know what? Each winner is going to get a little Hawaiian gift basket, right? With Hawaiian chocolate and candy and things like that. So let your kids know, tell your kids about it. Tell your friends about it. Let them know this is just something fun to do. And we want kids involved too. This show's kid friendly. You know, we kind of watch that, and it'll be just a really neat, fun thing to do. And I like getting kids involved. I know there's kids that do watch this. I know Bob Morton's out here, but I got the Morton boys, Tanner's kids, Ashley's kids, Brock's kids. Why not? Let's see what we got here. You know, the Yorks, they love this. And you know what? This is for Haley. Haley loved arts and crafts. Her mom posts stuff about arts and crafts all the time. And that's why I said we're going to call this the Haley Memorial Picture Contest.
And can I jump in real quick? I was saying,
Yes, sir.
when I was a kid, I was very artistic and really, really enjoyed drawing, but just really didn't have a support system. And, you know, art wasn't really taken seriously. So, you know, I think for parents to really develop kids and their artistic talents and to have an appreciation for the arts makes us all better. So it's something very key to me. And I really want to see the artwork. And I love the creativity of the kids. So I'm glad that we're doing this because sometimes it's bigger than hockey. It's just about building community, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of fun. So hey, Wendy, what if the Blackhawks got left coming up?
Tampa Bay
and I'm asking this for a
tomorrow,
reason.
Florida on Thursday and Saturday.
Yep, Thursday.
Then we go down to Carolina to finish off that series. And then we play Dallas to end off the season.
Okay, so
That's
can
some
you
tough
guys be
games.
somewhat of a spoiler? Can you guys go in and take some points away from teams that are positioning themselves?
It's potential. The last time the Hawks and Panthers met up, the Hawks won both games in convincing fashion. Tampa Bay is a different story. The Hawks just don't match up well against Tampa. They've never have, except for the 2015 Cup. But that's another matchup that I don't think the Hawks have it, because tomorrow we play them. Kane did not participate in practice today. I'm assuming it was just for conditioning reasons. And then we go down to Carolina, who's actually been a thorn in the Hawks side this entire season. The Hawks just don't know how to contain them. The Hurricanes are one of those teams that battle hard and just grind out wins. And then Dallas, the Hawks could probably spoil their season, even though I would rather have Dallas in the playoffs than Nashville.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I would absolutely rather see Dallas in the playoffs than Nashville.
Yeah, me
especially
too.
after the way Dallas started the season with the season a week and a half late because of COVID. And I think they only got COVID once. Colorado got COVID twice.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be
Colorado.
okay. So let's get into some last thoughts. Brock, last thoughts on this game and what you see coming forward for Wednesday. Oh, and thank you. I still got a surprise for Wednesday for the people that are watching, and I can't wait to promote this. So let's go, Brock.
We go, we're in Missouri. It's a show me state. You guys show me more, guys. They just got to show me they can sustain this and that their success is sustainable. That, Tarasenko has come out of his shell. Braden Shen scored his first goal in 19 games. Okay, enough of that. That's all baggage. So let's leave that baggage at the door. I want to see the team move forward. Like I said, there's only 12 games left. Forget everything that happened. 12 games left. Let's make it work. We got the next game is Minnesota. That's all we need to worry about is Minnesota right now. Don't worry about Arizona or anybody else. But the thing that concerns me is Parenko, because I just think that his style is a style that the Blues just built their entire defense around. And when he's taken out of that equation, that just throws the whole system out of whack. So I'm going to be really watching that situation and see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you there. What do you say, Lance?
Well, the Blues have 10 games left. Sorry,
10
Brock.
games, that's what I thought. Yeah.
They have
Half
10
of them are against the Wild.
Yeah, they have 10 games left. I think to really show me something, I want to see them go 8-2 or 7-3. I don't want to see a 6-4, 5-5, because then that shows me you still got some of those issues that have plagued you all year long. If the Blues go 5-5, even though Minnesota's a good team, I think overall, when you look at well-balanced defensively, goaltending, and offensively, I think out of the top three teams, Minnesota might be the best one. Colorado's got the great offense. They've got some great defensemen, but their defensemen are offensive defensemen. The Knights are very good, same way that Minnesota is defensively, offensively. But the edge out of those three teams has got to be the goaltending, and that would be the Golden Knights out of all those three teams with Andre Fleury and Leonard. Those guys are just some great goaltending. I want the Blues to do 7-3, 8-2 in these last 10 games. That will show me something. Winning 2, losing 2, winning 3, losing 2, 3 or 3. That's not going to show me something. This team needs to make a statement going into the playoffs if they make it and if they want to be successful in the playoffs. And I'm happy about these last 2 wins. They beat a great team in the Avalanche. Whether the Avalanche weren't playing their best tonight or not, a win's a win. And I want to see them go 8-2 or 7-3, and that'll really show me something.
I'm absolutely with you there. I kind of think of the same thing. What do you say, Wendy? What do you got for some last thoughts tonight?
just looking for good hockey later, just because.
Yeah, man. You know, we're in the same boat. We are too. I mean, we're luckily. Actually, I mean, you're not completely out of the playoff spot yet, but you're reaching for straws, right?
Well,
We're sitting at sixth
Yeah.
place right now.
Yeah.
I'm already counting the season off, even though I would love to make the playoffs. But honestly, I'm counting it as pretty much it's over. It's all right. I predicted them to be 7th place in the season at the beginning of the year. And, well, they overachieved this season, in my opinion. And, well, it made me happy, but it's pretty much a wash right now. So I'm just hoping for some good,
Who's your
closely contested hockey for
who's
the
gonna win
rest of the
Stanley
year.
Cup? Who's your Stanley Cup pick then?
My Stanley Cup pick?
Hmm?
Carolina.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough team. I really think they're going to be a tough team, and it's all going to see the one thing this season that hasn't been talked about, and we're going to do a playoff show, right? As once we get as things are going down and we figure out where we can do one, we're going to do a playoff show. But there's no conferences this year, so you're not set in who you're going to play. So in these 4 divisions, it's going to be 1v4, 2v3. So you could have a very interesting Stanley Cup Finals. Right? A very interesting Stanley Cup Finals. Now, Wednesday, 6 p.m. or 5 p.m., 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, the BlueNote Fan Report pregame show with special guest, Darren Kimby. That's right. I got Kimby. Darren Kimball is going to join me on the show. Unfortunately, guys, it's just going to be me for the pregame. I'll have you guys on for the intermission, but you guys are all going to get to ask your questions to Kimball. Now, Kimball,
I won't ask him too much because I've talked to him several times. So I'll let you guys ask a lot, and I'll just be very in the background, and I'll ask a few questions.
I'm going to ask if he wants to fight. I'll take that sucker.
Yeah. Well, see, I mean, Kimball played for about 2 years in St. Louis, 2 or 3, if I remember right.
Played in Chicago.
And he played in Chicago. But he was one of them like minor, but he has become he's a mouth. He's a fun mouth. And he understands hockey very, very interesting. And I think you guys will have some great questions for him. So it'll be me and Kimball on the pregame show. You guys get in the chat room, throw your questions at him. We'll talk about the game a little bit and what's going on. And you know what? We can ask him what he thinks about this team playing the way they played. It's been and Richard's going to ask one last question. Who's been the most disappointing player for the Blues? I'd have to say Thomas. Thought he would be a breakout. Nope, not even close. Thomas had injuries. I wouldn't put Thomas there at all.
We could do a whole show on that, couldn't we?
Oh, you can do a whole show. Yeah. No, actually, I think Sanford's been the most disappointing. Right. Oh, I just lost Brock there or Lance there for a second. Where's the next game? When's the next game? It is Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll be on at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time with Darren Kimball. So, hey, this is Guy.
3 in a row against Minnesota is what you said. 3 in a row.
Well, we got 3 games against Minnesota. We are on We are on NBC Sports Network. Oh, boy, man, there's something to talk about tomorrow. Hey, do you got a game tomorrow, Wendy?
Yeah, the Hawks play tomorrow. I believe at 7:00 Central Time.
Okay, so what I'm looking at is an 8 or a 9 o'clock Central. So if you're available, we're going to do an off day show for us. NBC backed out of the negotiations.
I saw.
And Turner Network has jumped in. So this is really interesting. Right now, it's looking like the next 3 Stanley Cups, not this one, are going to be on ESPN. And then the 2 after that are going to be on Turner. This is going to be
Flyer. How are we going to handle? I mean, what are the hockey?
You know what? Don't count your chickens before they hatch, because I could see ESPN or Turner hiring him. I absolutely could. I'm
expecting ESPN to bring back Gary Thorne for play-by-play, just because.
Yeah, I do expect that too. But you can also see, but they're going to have more regional games, I think, right? Where they have 2 or 3 games on, because they used to do that back in the 90s. They'd have 3 games on, but you would see what's in your region.
Yeah, I understand.
Right? They were very good at doing regional games. So I could see some of that happening, to be honest with you. I could see it being like Thursday night hockey with regional coverage. And they would show 4 or 5, three games, show 2 East Coast games, have 3 East Coast games, and then have maybe have what do you call it? A central game, and then a later West Coast game. So that's what I think you can see. So Lance lost video on us. Sorry, Lance, bud. Well, we're cutting it. We're calling it short. So we're going to do, if you're available tomorrow, Lance, we're going to do a show between 8 and 9. I guess I haven't picked the time out yet. I got to look at what my day is. So be a little late notice, but we're trying to work in the lounge. If you're available, Wendy, you're more than welcome. If I go in the lounge, I probably wouldn't have you on, though, because I don't think you want to take a chance at having 40,000 people.
Rude. People are rude.
Being rude and lewd. So I wouldn't do that to you. So, but we'll get you on again, buddy. Right?
I was probably planning on a live stream for the Hawks game anyways tomorrow.
Well, no problem. And I'm working on that thing I told you.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm hoping I can make that happen for you.
Okay.
Right. Okay, guys. So I will see you tomorrow. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Brock Banner from St. Louis Fan Report and Nick from Windy City Hockey saying aloha, mahalo. You got to know I'm bleeding blue with you. And I'll see you tomorrow on the BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha.